You are a horrible human being of a man. I found the article, Kwame Brown. You have some explaining to do. You need to tell, like I've been telling your chat, you're lying on Stephen A. Smith, and you use that to say, that's my daddy. July 15th, 2005. It is wrote, "So long, Kwame, thanks for nothing," by Michael Wilbon. The saddest thing of all is that Kwame Brown appears to be as clueless today as the day he arrived. It was okay to be a fool at 18, 19, fresh out of high school. The great majority of us were. But he's 23 now. He's a full-fledged bust. The first time bust was associated with Kwame Brown. Full-fledged bust who's talk tough on the way out. The nigga basically called you a whore. Who talk tough, you talk tough on the way out. Think about it. That means when you was here in real time, you didn't talk that tough talk. Even the paper saying it. When you was around us, you wasn't the big Geechee. You wasn't the big Geechee, Kwame. But when you left, you talked tough to the point where he got offended that he needed to lay it out. Full-fledged bust who tough talk on the way out of here makes it so easier to wave bye-bye without feeling a bit of remorse. The only thing he got partially right in his parting comments to the post Michael Lee the other night was, this is a re-erection. A re-erection is only necessary when you're dead. Ouchie! And yes, indeed, your career here was flatliner. Your career here was flatline. In his best of times. In your best of times, he said he was flatlined at best, meaning your best games, nigga, you was dead. It was critical condition. And no matter what happens in LA and stops beyond the career of Kwame Brown will always be a bust here. Bust again. They basically saying the optimists around the parts look at Brown and his hunky body and fret that he's going to go to the Lakers and become Jermaine O'Neal, really blossom the way Chris Webber did in Sacramento, Rasheed Wallace did in Portland. But there is so much evidence to suggest that Kwame will go to the Lakers and be a slacker he was here. Ha! Ha! Hey, Kwame, this aged very well. Yes, Christy. Wilbon came up with the word bust for Kwame Brown in 2005. Did you notice you can't find Stephen A. Smith ever saying it? He said bona fide scrub. So the man who labeled him a bust, called him a bust, said when he gets to the Lakers he's gonna be a slacker. He didn't have no smoke for it. He didn't mention. He never mentioned him, ever. He never addressed the people he's mad at. He always tacked randoms. The kid who overslept practices or only halfway practice when he did show up. Well, goddamn, Kwame. You half practice. You showed up when you want in practice, barely when you showed up. That's who you saying I was. This is who's saying you was. Who's correct? The paper or the nigga trying to rewrite his tincture? The hardworking Gilbert or who they are saying here? And always found someone to blame but himself. He's a bust. This is the third time he's called you a bust. Your channel is named because of this man, Bust Life. He named you, Bust. The nigga called you a bust. He wrote that he had the nerve to talk about his legacy. It's beyond laughable. Look, like it's laughable. Please, please, please. Let the July 20, this nigga's begging, yo. Please let the 22 transaction date get here in a hurry before Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant get a close look at this lame, irresponsible kid and they rescind the trade. Nothing. Kwame Brown. How you talk about me, you would think that these are the articles that are written about me. You are talking about who you were, pretending that it was me. This nigga is writing, hurry up and get it over with before they take a look at this nigga and find out it's a lemon. And we're stuck with him. He's a lame. He called you in 05. He called you a lame, irresponsible kid. Legacy, raise your hand if you see Brown continuing the Laker legacy of Mikan, Wilt, Kareem, and so I guess he's mocking you, ho. Brown can't get out here fast enough. It's been apparent for a long time. The media members charged with responsibly covering up his career. They want you gone. They are happy. Get rid of it. You are a lemon. Lemon, get on out of here. Hopefully someone else buy you. And we know what happened. You was a bust there too. They couldn't get you. They couldn't. Good riddance. We said good riddance. The Lakers and Stephen A. 3 years later said good riddance. LA should be happy to get rid of. Everybody's happy to get rid of Kwame Brown. Here we go. The number one pick in the draft to the media members, blah, blah, blah. But there were 2 years after Michael Jordan and them, 164 games, 2 more training camps, countless practices and field sessions. Look at the progress of Gilbert Arenas, who's also 23, has made in 4 years. Now you see why Kwame Brown hates me? Because they compare me with him and his age and my work ethic and my ball playing at the same age he is being, and they're looking at him like, why aren't you, you're the number one pick, why aren't you scaling at the same time? You see how they're talking about me with good name. I have a good name. The bitch here doesn't. Amari Stoudemire has taken. Look at Dwayne Wade, still 23. There are plenty of 23-year-olds in the NBA who come to work like grown men every day. Brown ain't one of them. You're fat. You keep getting hurt. You're fighting. You're arguing. You're getting booed. The rest of the 23-year-olds, you're not coming to work like a grown man every day, claiming you was a grown man. I'm a grown man, still grown, but you couldn't come to work. Play hard, practice hard, none of it. 2005, Kwame, this is who you are. This is who you were. Only you tried so best to change your fucking career and image. I had to subscribe to the Washington Post. to bring your ass back to reality because the conversation you and Eton had, and it had to make me think, how come you two niggas aren't talking about or agreeing that you both heard that Kwame got benched because of me and told? All that made me think, wait, this is not the conversation they're supposed to be having. Can't get him out of bed on time, can't get to practice on time, if at all. Can't treat his coach with common respect. Kwame, look how they're talking about you. He can't treat his coach with common respect. The word bust doesn't even begin to describe what a stunning disappointment Brown has been. In half of his 4 years, Brown has been in his 20s, not in his teens. Yes, I blame the Wizards. Michael Jordan, I suppose, for drafting him ahead of Gasol, no less, and the club for not providing enough infrastructure for a small town kid dropped in a big city with no preparation. But beyond that, it is time somebody held this kid responsible. It's weird how what you're saying people should have did to me, they did to you back then. It's like you read all of this and then you pretend that was me and you were some high ride nigga. But it makes sense why you never got paid your wealth, why no one invested any money into you. He's an oversight bust. This is the 5th fucking time you got called a bust in one article. It's his own fault. Nobody here asked or expected him to be Wilt. Reasonable progress toward, hey, just be good enough. But he wasn't. He wasn't even capable. Instead, what he became was a quitter. Quitter. Where did quitter come from? Quitter who had to be suspended in the playoffs. He was too scary. He was too sorry, no account to adopt a serious work ethic. Even though the team's best player, Arenas, is a workaholic and has done everything he can to include Brown, even included to go pick him up. Bitch! So Kwame Brown, before I came, Charles Oakley offered to pick you up and couldn't get him out of the bed. I was a workaholic. You said I came to practice at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I even, because we lived on the same street, I even at 23, the same age, the immature guy offered to pick you up. I will pick you up so you can come work with me at my hours. There was only one person supporting one person. And that was me supporting you while you was angry looking at the food that I was eating. And I did my best, tried to help your plate like I did everybody else. See, you played a song. Let me play the song for you. Now it all makes sense, right? Everybody got paid. Does it make sense now? Everybody got paid. Everybody got paid. Everybody got paid. Larry got paid. He went signed the damn max. To this day, it was the most money Cleveland ever signed a free agent, Larry Hughes, who played with me. Steve Blake got more money. Jarrett got more money. Everybody got paid. Everybody got paid. By the way, if Brown thinks Kobe Bryant or Kobe and Jackson are going to hold his hand and whisper in his ear, hey, so you needed sweet loving, huh? Is that how they talk? Would you be my sweet lover all the time? I'll be there. Is that what you needed? When you need me. That was me. I was Tyrese. I'll be there when you need me. Just call me. Sweet lady, sweet Kwame. Huh? Is that what it is? Huh, Kwame? He's saying it. Gilbert Arenas, who was talking sweet love, trying to help you up, talk good things to you. They not doing that shit. Kobe not doing that shit over there. He warned you. He ain't whispering in your ear. You will be mistaken. Kobe, as his teammate, is as impatient as Jordan. They said it. They warned you. Kobe is worse than motherfucking Michael Jordan. The closest thing Jackson had to a project in the NBA is Tony Kukoc, who already been Olympian. But hey, Kwame is somebody else's problem now. And because he's a 7 foot, 275 pounds, he is judged by talent advisor, have plenty of the dreaded P word potential. Wizards, we got pretty two good players. Okay. Caron Butler, 6'7", can score. He's a very good, Chucky has a very good backup point guard. I'll be able to play a few minutes alongside Arenas. 4 times in 6 seasons, Atkins average. They're talking about Atkins. Did they go back at him again? Let me see. Twice he played 82 games. He is so durable. Okay. The Wizards got 2 every night players. The Wizards got 2 every night players in exchange for a bus. So that's good news. And it got them for a little bit of money to spend on front court players. Okay, their basis saying we're going to fire some players. Okay, they're telling us players we could get, Stephen Hunter, okay. Block a shot, okay. In the meantime, there ought to be a sign of relief coming from the 7th Street Northwest over dumping Brown and getting rid of 2 guys who act like NBA players. Kwame again. In the meantime, there ought to be relief from 7th Street Northwest over dumping Brown and getting 2 guys who act like an NBA player. Only you were questioned about being an NBA player, never me. You was a horrible teammate. Not to me. This is what they said. Brown said his only worry about how he plays and how he is judged from this point on. Seems those 4 years were worthless to him as they were to the team. And all of us forced to watch his sorry, half-hearted attempt at growing up. God damn. Good riddance. Kwame Brown, you owe people apologies, bro. Me personally, I don't need it. I'm good. Because this is the last time. That's why it's 5 hours. I would never speak or taunt Kwame Brown again. I don't need to. You have all the evidence here to see who he was. He publicly gave me who he was, what they were saying about him. Good riddance, get the fuck on. You're a bust, bust, bust. Horrible teammate. Never practiced. You showed who I was. Willing to pick him up, willing to practice with him, willing to train him. That was me to him. Fighting for him and his contract. Now, Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown, I'm gonna hurt your heart here. Okay. I think we've done enough. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, there's another one. Let me see what this is. See, what can Brown do for you? Let me see what that is. Is that something we need to? Something we need to look to see if there's. Forward. Let me see what Brown do for you. Did we see that? No harm, no foul. Accountable for Brown. We suspend Brown. Eton fighting. Okay, what can Brown do for you? So no constitutional fear. Oh, wow. Michael Wilbon. And so this is Michael Wilbon. I guess this was Wilbon's first one. No consequences is too severe. Oh, there was basically no consequences too severe for quitting on your team in the playoffs. So the missing Kwame Brown for the rest of the season is exactly the right thing for the Wizards to do. Not another day should go. Another day should the franchise wait on this kid to develop or tolerate his continued lack of professionalism to even have him in the locker room where he could potentially undermine a team doing just fine in the playoffs would be irresponsible. They even gave an example. A playoff game, because your tummy aches, is on the same day that Brown didn't show up for the game, shoot around, because he had a tummy virus. Houston Rockets guard Bobby Sura checked out of Dallas Hospital in time to play against the Mavericks later that night. Sura had some kind of bug himself, one serious enough to send him to the hospital, where he had to get an IV in him for hours. Nevertheless, he got to the game. Sura didn't bail on his teammates in the playoffs. The issue here isn't whether Brown was sick. The issue is that he doesn't particularly want to play. Brown got upset Saturday because he played just 4 minutes in the game. Even though he was terrible in those 4 minutes. He got upset because the people here who paid good money, bitch, why did you only play 4 minutes? Even though he got upset because the people here who paid good money for tickets increasingly booed him. Because they were seeing marginally talented, or they seen talented guys like Michael Ruffin, a guy with no draft pedigree, getting minutes and the love because he thinks, hustle, practice, cares, sacrifice. Brown, of course, isn't even remotely familiar with any of those characteristics. Who the fuck were you? Because I'm pretty sure the people here never heard this Kwame Brown. They understand that people picked on you. You made it seem like you didn't do nothing. We just picked on you. And I played 13 years, And I said, you only made 63 million. I got paid 63 million after 120 games. When I came to you, my contract was 63 million. You had the rest of your career just to make that money. It says you were so mad at Michael Ruffin, a guy who works, thinks, hustle, practice, cares, sacrifice. And of course, Brown didn't even know or was familiar with any of those characteristics. They said, damn, Monday night for game 4, Jarvis Hayes was on the court trying to practice with a busted kneecap. Jarvis, who couldn't play, had a cracked kneecap, was still trying to play for us in Brown in game 4. He was training, still trying to be helpful for us. Brown was not answering his phone. Of course not. They're telling you about who we were. Juan Dixon shot hundreds of jumpers trying to find his stroke. He followed his coach into MCI Center Saturday from a 1-in-10 shooting performance. He initially begged for another chance to earn minutes. See, Juan Dixon had a horrible game. He went to practice, showed up, shot hundreds of shots, Kwame. Hey, coach, please don't bench me. I'm here for you. I got it. Just keep trusting me. Because remember, I'm playing 46 minutes, so there ain't no motherfucking minutes. So there's only minutes coming from Larry Hughes a little bit, and he didn't want coach to play Larry 46 minutes. He went to the gym practicing hard. This is who you was, Kwame Brown. Not who you say you was. We read it. Now, I want to bust another bubble for you. I was holding it. I thought that I will hear it again, but it was you who said it, but I'm not going back to the videos. Kwame, I didn't want to. Here is something. Kwame Brown, you said, and I quote, you and your agent had a conversation during the playoffs about, the playoffs is in April, May. You and your agent had a conversation sometime after the Utah game and the end of the playoffs. Sometime then, you and your agent said Tyson Chandler got $80 million for 5 and 5. And you averaging 10 in this, you should get more. So you're saying Tyson Chandler signed this $80 million deal in April, May? And your agent is telling you you're balling in the playoffs, you're going to sign that money? Well, how are you having that conversation if Tyson Chandler signed a 6-year, $63 million deal September 2nd, 2005? June, July, August, September. He signed his money, $63 million. $63 million, Kwame, in September. How the fuck are you and your agent talking about his money in April if it didn't happen yet? How can you get more money than Tyson, Kwame, if Kwame Brown was paid 3-year, 25 in July 12th, 2005? Kwame Brown. There's no way you or your agent can talk about money or someone's contract. If you signed your contract first, July 12th, you signed your deal for $25 million. August, September. Tyson signed 2 months after you. So how are you and your agent discussing somebody else's contract that didn't happen yet? I call cap. You're a liar. You lied. Your whole existence of a male is lying to people for sympathy, trying to make other people seem worse than you were. You are a horrible person, a horrible individual. You have no NBA friends because you hate on everybody. The only reason Eton talks to you today is because he didn't know you missed practice because he had 20 points. Well, he gonna find out now. See, nobody knew why you missed, but you missed because he balled out and you was jealous of it. You're such a horrible person, man. And this is just real shit. Maybe I got it wrong when you got arrested, or I said you got arrested for throwing a cake on someone. I got that wrong. My bad. Let me try this again. You are a horrible human being of a man. If you take someone else's cake, the cake is in someone else's hand, and you throw it on the floor. Your excuse was you're looking at this cake to throw it. Your excuse was you thought it was yours. How do you think a cake is yours? You just left a club walking down the street. How is this cake yours? You ordered a cake? Huh? Show us the receipt. You ordered a cake? Why didn't they give you the cake in the club? Whose birthday was it? Whose birthday was it that you ordered a cake for? Huh? Why is your cake coming to you while you're walking down the street, nigga? This man cake is he walking, they going home to celebrate this man's birthday, and you thought it was funny with your teammates to mess this man's cake up. And you got called out for it. Now you want to, I'll pay you $1,000. I will pay you $1,000 for your cake. They don't give a fuck about your $1,000. Then you try to say, you ordered one, but you're walking down the street leaving the club. Make it make sense. Now, Kwame, we all know you're going to go in the marathon. You're going to pick and choose things that you find inconsistent. You're going to bring up a whole bunch of shit that has nothing to do with this live. You're going to probably talk about girls, huh? How you was smacking down hoes, that you can't prove. You can't find no girls. And me and you know. We know one girl, you would never call her. You're going to deflect, walk around. It's here. It is here. The articles is here. It's written here. You can't hide from print. I've been vindicated. I'm free. I don't need to address you no more. I don't give a fuck what you say about me. If I known this would have existed, if you and Eton would have had your conversation earlier, and I got to see you two niggas interact, and it didn't match, the clues didn't match. Like, wait a minute, why did Eton let Eddie Jordan say that? Eddie Jordan said no. Why didn't Eton say, wait a minute, no, I heard you say this. or any of that. Eton is saying, I never told Gilbert that. He said I did. I never told him that. You told me he said it. He said on that live, I've never said that. He threw you under the bus. Eton interview was the worst for you because it ran me down a rabbit hole to then go back to the Washington Post, to then talk to the general manager, to then talk to all of these people to find out and get put on to who you were as a male. And all I wanted to know for the last 4 years, why did you lie on me about having your bench when I did it? Now everybody know who the fuck you really are. Now everybody know why you don't have no NBA friends. Because you hate everybody's success. If anybody heard him talk about Tyra Thompson, listen to him. I'm averaging this and this, and they pay him $42 million. He's envious that they gave this man $42 million and he don't get it. They mad. Brian Cardinal mad that Brian Cardinal got money. He was, no one invested in him because who he is, who his work ethic was, why he was always hurt, why he was always fat, why he was a fucking alcoholic. Even when this nigga just makes up lies, he's drinking in the lie. Yeah, they came over. You know, I didn't want to go to practice because I was going to slap them. And me and shit, we was having fun partying with all girls. Me and Oakley, yeah, we got into it. We got into our beef. And then we went to go drink after. Every story starts or ends with a drinking story.